guys, welcome to Talking Money with Nosy, personal finance made simple. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Microsoft Excel to track your stock investments easily and efficiently. Unfortunately, due to a busy schedule, I wasn't able to find the time to set up my camera and to film for myself. So I've decided to do a faceless video for this one. I hope that you can still enjoy the information and insights that I have to offer on this video. Thanks for understanding, and I promise to be back on camera soon. Until then, enjoy the video, guys. Okay guys, here's my Excel spreadsheet, and what I've done is I've actually created a structure of how I want my table to look like. So column 1 will be the name of the ETF or the name of your stock if you've got stocks. Then the price of that ETF or stocks, number of ETFs or stocks that I own, the average purchase price that I bought them at, the purchase value, which is the total amount that I paid, the current value, which is the market value, and then of course, the profit or loss that I've made on that ETF or stock. So what I'm going to do is, firstly, I'm going to use my EasyEquities to help me to build this table. So I've already logged into EasyEquities. So this is my TFSA account. So if I scroll up at the top, it's TFSA, right? And these are my TFSA holdings. So the first ETF is Core Shares Total World. If I click on Buy More, I want to see the short name or the ticker symbol for Core Shares Total World. And that short name is Global. So that's what I'm going to use to build my table. So let's go back to Excel and type Global. Once you've typed Global, highlight it, and then under Data, on your Microsoft Excel sheet, click on data first. Then you'll see here where it says stocks. That description over there says convert cells with company names or ticker symbols, like I've said, like MSFT. MSFT is Microsoft, to get current stock info like price, exchange, and more. So if I click on stock, it'll convert this global to a stock. If it doesn't, it means there are many other stocks or ETFs called global. And here where it says data selector, you have to select which stock or ETF you mean. Okay, so you can see this is not what we want. It says global education. That's not it. Global compliance, Canadian, what, that's not it. We are actually looking for this one. Core Shares Total World Stock Feeder ETF, Johannesburg Stock Exchange. That's the one. So you click here where it says select, and it's selected. And it adds it for us. It gives us the short name as well as the long name. The next thing to do, I'm going to add the rest of the ETFs as well using the same method. My second ETF is First Rand or F&B Global 1200. If I click on Buy More, I want to see the ticker symbol. It's FNBEQF. So we go back to my spreadsheet and type FNBEQF. Okay, let's click on stocks. And there we go. It adds it for us. You need to be connected to the internet to do this, guys. That's one thing that I forgot to mention. Next, I'm going to add my next ETF in my investments. That's Satrix 40. And luckily, I know Satrix 40 by heart. It's STX 40. And there we go. It adds it for us. The next ETF that I have is Satrix Divi Plus. I also know that ticker symbol by heart is STX Div. And there we go, it adds it for us. And the next ETF is Satrix NASDAQ 100. I think I know that one as well. It's STX NDQ. There we go. My last ETF is Signia S&P 500. I also know the ticker symbol by heart. It's SYG 500. Okay, there we go. It adds it for us. The next thing that I want to do is to add the price. So how you do that, you click on the first entry. And you see there's this symbol that comes up. If I hover over it, it says insert data. So if I click on it, these are fields that I can use to build the table. So the first field is 52-week high. What is that? 52 weeks is 1 year. So 1 year high is talking about the highest share price that the Core Shares Total World has ever reached in the past year. 52-week low is the lowest share price that ETF has reached over the past year. You get the idea, right? And you have all these other things like the currency if you want to put, or the exchange. You get all these things, but I am interested in the price. So if I click on price, it adds that field for us. Now, guys, please note that this price is in cents currently as it's displayed, because if we check on EasyEquities, look at the price of core shares total world. So if I say buy more, you should see the price. Although the market is closed, guys, so the price that you see is not really accurate. To get accurate prices, the market should be open. But it says the last price, which was the last time the market was open, the price was 12 Rand and 25 cents. So you can see this is not too far off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that price by 100, because that's how you convert cents into rands. You have to divide. So you see, when you divide by 100, you get 12 Rand and 21 cents, which is a little bit closer to the price that we saw on EasyEquities. Now, I need to do the same for all the other ETFs. Luckily with Excel, that's easy. You just need to drag that cell and release. You can see F&P Global 1200, it's 74 Rand and 46 cents. Satrix 40, 73 Rand and 5 cents. Satrix Divi 2 Rand and 92 cents. Satrix Nasdaq 100, 137 Rand and 57 cents. Signia S&P 500, 77 Rand and 35 cents. Then where it says number of ETFs, that I have to put it in manually, because those are the number of ETFs that I have bought. So I'm going to use EasyEquities to feed this information into the Excel spreadsheet, including the rest of the data. But now I'm going to put it side by side for visibility so that you can see what I'm doing as well. So just push this to the side and also push this to the side as well. So hopefully you won't get confused. I'm just trying to make life easy for myself. So here we go. So click here. On core shares total world, here are the number of shares. So it's 1,948.4822. Next, we go on to F&B Global 1200. Number of shares is 679.6304. Next, we move on to Satrix 40. The number of shares is 383.1979. Next is Satrix Divi. Let me just scroll down. Satrix Divi, how many shares do I have? It's 3106.5880. Next is Satrix Nasdaq 100. The number of shares is 144.6922. And then last but not least is Signia S&P 500, one of my favorite ETFs of all time, 417.2670. Now guys, let me just encourage you. Some people have asked me, so did you invest 28,000 at once or 19,000 at once? And the answer is no. I've been investing since 2017. And in 2017, I think I only invested 100 Rand in total, like for the whole year. So I started investing long ago with small amounts. And I kept on investing every single month. So you see there's this button that says buy more. Ne? When you click on that button, you keep on adding to your investments as regularly as you want. So this is a result of years of investing, not just one day. Let's move on to the next column, which is the average purchase price. Again, that's going to be manual input, right? Let me just fix my Excel spreadsheet a little bit so that it freezes the first column. I don't want, let me delete this. Freeze panes, freeze first column. So the average purchase price is what price did I pay on average for the ETFs. Remember guys, the prices of shares in ETFs move up and down all the time. So sometimes when you're buying at a higher price. Sometimes you're buying at a lower price. So the system takes the average of all your purchases and says, this is the average price that you paid. So with me, here it goes, says average purchase price, 11 Rand 20. So 11 Rand 20. And then you also do the same for the rest. So let me just continue. This one, my average purchase price, 62 Rand and 11 cents. Satrix 40, average share price, 63 Rand and 11 cents. Move on to Satrix Divi. Average purchase price was 3 Rand and 20 cents. And then Satrix Nasdaq, average purchase price, 118 Rand and 69 cents. And then Signia S&P 500, average purchase price is 67 Rand and 66 cents. Let's move on to the next column, which is the purchase value. So for the core shares total world, let's see. This is the purchase value. So 21,817 Rand and 6 cents. Okay, I hope I remember that. So it's 21,817.06. Okay, that's how much I paid in total for those ETFs. Then next is F&B I paid 42,209 and 77 cents. 42,209.77. Next is Satrix 40. How much did I pay for that? Let's see. 24,183 Rand and 88 cents. 24,183.88. Next is Satrix Divi. For Satrix Divi, I paid 9,932 Rand and 37 cents. 9932.37. The next one is NASDAQ 100. 17,173 Rand and 10 cents. 17,173.10. Lastly is the Signia S&P 500, 28,233 Rand and 3 cents. Now, where it says current value, I can actually calculate this, but sometimes the calculation is not always correct. So how do you calculate? You take the price and multiply by the number of shares. That's the idea, but sometimes it doesn't work. So you go equals, open brackets, price times number of ETFs. That's how the calculation is supposed to work, and it should calculate the current value. But of course, it's not accurate because these prices are not the exact prices. Okay, so you see that it says current value is 23,790. Let's see what the actual current value is. The actual current value, look at that. It's slightly off, you see. So the current value is 23,868 Rand and 91 cents. So if you like, you can leave it as is. And when the market opens, perhaps it's going to update properly. Okay, so what you do now, once you've put in the first calculation, you just drag and drop for the rest, then it'll calculate for you. So if I just put it side by side, look at this. Okay, so what you'll see here is the current value, okay? Let me scroll on my spreadsheet. So look at this. Current value here, slightly less, right, on the spreadsheet. Here it's 23,800. Same thing with F&B Global. On your spreadsheet, it will be 50,605. Here it says 50,374. Except, look at this, except Satrix Divi is correct. So here it says 9,071.24, and that's exactly what it is here. Okay, so sometimes it gets it right. Then where it says profit or loss, you say current value minus purchase value. And that's simple as well. So equals, you put a formula, you type equals, then open bracket, this, okay, minus this, close bracket. Then it calculates the profit. So right here it says my profit for core shares total world is 1,973 Rand and 91 cents. Let's see what it actually is here. Here, the profit says it's 2,051. Okay, so again, you just take that first cell and drag for the rest of the cells, and it should be able to calculate. See, for Satrix Divi, it's correct. The loss is negative 861 Rand and 13 cents, and that's exactly what you see there. But for the rest, it's a bit out. Then let's talk about this profit or loss. You can actually put colors. You can put conditional formatting, which is what I've done for my other spreadsheet that I've shown you in a previous video. So to put in conditional formatting, go where it says home and then click on conditional formatting and select new rule. I select where it says format only cells that contain. Now I'm going to select cell value less than, then I'll type 0 and then format that. I want the color to be red, but a lighter red, not a dark red. Let me choose this red and click on more colors so that I can customize the red to be a light red and not so dark. Okay, so that's okay. Okay, you see what it does. So because of that rule, I said any number that's less than 0, the cell should be formatted to a red color. So Satrix Divi is the only ETF with a loss in my TFSA, as you can see. So that is at a loss. That's why it's red, and I'm highlighting it red in my Excel sheet as well. Then let's do more conditional formatting, new rule, and format only cells that contain cell value greater than 0. Let's format that to green. Okay, and I'm going to make the green lighter shade, not so dark. Okay, there we go. And wherever it sees a number that's greater than 0, it'll make it green. So that means those are in profit. And as you can see on my EasyEquities, all my ETFs that are in a profit are green as well. Then another reason why I built this really is for the dividends. Okay, so the dividends, I'll just make a separate calendar here and call it dividends, and then label it from January to December. So dividends, and then type in January. Let's see if it's going to allow me to just drag the months. Yes, there we go. So I'm just going to drag all the way right up to December. Okay. There we go. So now what I do is I know when some of these ETFs pay dividends, and I put an X in the month that I know these ETFs pay. So for example, Satrix 40 pays in January. So that's an X. They pay again in April. They pay again in July. And the last one is in October. Same applies for Satrix Divi. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to copy this and paste it right here. NASDAQ does not pay dividends, so I'm not even going to put anything for that. Signia S&P 500 pays in Jan, and then they pay again in July, so I put an X there. F&B Global 1200 pays in February. They pay again in May. They pay again in August, and then they pay in November. That's covered. CoreShares Total World, they pay in April. That's an X. Then the last one, they pay in October, I think. Let me just verify that. To do that, let me go on to this website called etfsa.co.za. I actually saved it as a shortcut on my browser. So let's just go there and check. These are all the ETFs on the JSE, and they are ordered by alphabetical order, right? So we are looking for CoreShares. Here is CoreShares. Here's Total World. To see the dividends, you click here on the second column where it says view right here. Then you should be able to see dividend history. So here we go. They pay in April and October. So that's correct. And then if you know the dividend amount, you can then feed the information. So which is what I did. Let me show you my 2023 ETFs and stocks. So here we go. Here is my CoreShares, number of shares, average purchase price, etc. And here are the dividend amounts that have been paid so far. In January already, Satrix 40 paid me a dividend of 71 Rand and 45 cents. Satrix Divi was 11 Rand and 97 cents. And then Signia S&P 500 was 150 Rand and 60 cents. And then the total for January, the dividend total was 237 Rand and 2 cents. Then in February, F&B Global 1200 paid me 147 Rand and 47 cents, which made up the entire total for April. There was nothing paid for March. Then in April, I was paid 217 Rand and 17 cents by CoreShares Total World. Satrix 40 paid 147 Rand and 3 cents. Satrix Divi paid 145 Rand and 8 cents, bringing the total to 509 Rand and 28 cents for April. In May this month, I'm expecting to get a dividend from F&B Global 1200, which I'll record there. And for the entire year so far, I've been paid 890 Rand and 77 cents in dividend amounts. So what you do is, that's easy, guys. You just go back here. So you put in your dividend amounts, the Rand value. So you put 71 Rand, 11 Rand, whatever, and then you add. So let me give you an example. So let's say Satrix paid 71 Rand, Satrix Divi was 11 Rand, this one was 150. And then to get a total, you just say equal sum and you add, enter. Then this is the total for January. Then you put a bold color so you know that it's a total for the month of January. Then you do the same for Feb, etc. Then you can do a total for all the dividends for the whole year, which is what I did on this table here. So I have totals for the month, as you can see, January total, February total, etc. Then I also have the total for the particular ETF. What I mean is here, if you go across, Satrix 40 paid 71 Rand in Jan, then they paid again in April 147. That is a total of 218. So I just added the numbers. Let me do that in this spreadsheet so you can understand. So Satrix in April, Satrix 40 paid 147. This one paid 153, for example. And then here I put a column right at the end that says total. Then what I'll do is I say equal sum, and then just take my mouse and drag right across to December. Enter. See, it's adding all these cells across. What I want to see is in total, how much did Satrix Divi pay me as a dividend in total? How much did Satrix 40 pay me as a dividend in total? let me make this neat, right? Because a table has to have like structure. So what I'll do, I'll just draw a table around. So let me just copy these and paste them right here. And then I'm going to draw a table around that for neatness. And then say insert table. My TFSA account is purple, right? So I'll choose purple color. So let me do the same for the dividends, right? So I've inserted the table there and changed the color. I'm going to do the exact same process for my Australian stocks. So I've already put in some column headers, although they're slightly different from ETFs, of course, right? So there's a stock name, which is the name of the share or company, the description of that company, the PE ratio, the rest is the same. Now let's go to my Australian account to build the table. So let's click on all holdings. Here there's a mixture. So here are the stocks and these three, the vanguards, those are my ETFs. So I'm going to build my table starting from the top, which is BHP. Let's go to my example spreadsheet. Where it says stock name there, I'm going to type BHP and click enter. Once I do that, I highlight it and then under data, I click on stocks. Then it's going to search. There are so many BHP. There it says BHP Group Limited. Then it says stock Australian securities. So that's the one we want because we're looking at my Australian account. So I'm going to select that. Then it has added BHP. So this time around, I'm just going to go right across for this company where it says description. So I click there and I look for description. So there's description. If I click on it, it'll add the description. Then where it says PE ratio, what is the PE ratio? PE ratio stands for price to earnings ratio. So what it does, it compares the share price of the company, which is BHP in this case, compare it to the profits that the business makes. So earnings are profits. And what the PE ratio measures is how cheap or expensive a share is. But this is very general, guys. It's not the only thing that you look for. But in general, the PE ratio will give you an indication of whether a share is expensive or not. So let me give you an example of what I mean by that. Let's click on BHP on EasyEquities. Then there's this part that says learn more about BHP, right? So you click here, Yahoo Finance. And then it opens this page and takes you to Yahoo Finance. You'll see here it says PE ratio. How is it calculated? So they take the share price of BHP, which is 44 Australian dollars and 18 cents. And then the earnings per share or the profit per share is $5.44. The PE ratio is calculated by saying share price divided by the earnings. Let's do that calculation. So if I whip out my calculator and say 44.18 divided by the earnings, which is the profit per share, okay, by 5.44 equals, there you go, 8.12, which is exactly what the PE ratio is. So guys, you don't have to calculate the PE ratio. It's done for you. I'm just showing you how they get it. So what does this mean? The PE ratio is telling you that the share price is 8 times higher than the profit. And so when you are buying shares, you should try to buy shares that have got the share price that is as close to the profit as possible, because you're getting value of your money. If the share price and the profit are miles apart, we say the share is expensive. Let me show you an example of a company that I think is expensive. It's also an Australian company. So let's go back to my Australian watch list. So let me show you using Cochlear, for example. Cochlear is a good company, but when I look at the PE ratio, I'm like, wow, it's extremely high. So go to Yahoo Finance. Let me show you. Look at the PE ratio. So Cochlear's share price is $246.34. That's the price of one share of Cochlear. Look at the earnings per share. This is the profit per share, and it's only $3.92. So what does it mean? So you say $246, which is the share price, divided by the profits. So you divide it by $3.97 and you get 62. So what that's saying is that the share price of Cochlear is 62 times higher than the profits that the share brings to the company. So in my books, this is what we call expensive because you're paying so much money for so little profit. Do you understand? So that's why when I'm choosing shares, I don't only look at the price. I look at the PE. So what we do to add PE, you click there and look for PE. Okay, here it is. And it adds. As you can see, the PE is slightly different here because on Yahoo Finance, it's 8. So the one on Yahoo Finance is more accurate. Next would be the price. That one, we get it also from our table. So you highlight BHP, this little icon comes up, and then you extract the share price. So you click on price and it adds nicely for you. It puts it in dollars, which is perfect. Where it says number of stocks, those are the number of stocks that I bought. So I need to go into EasyEquities. Okay, so all holdings, and then scroll down. BHP, I've got 2.4201 shares. Okay, so let's go and fill that. Okay, average purchase price, which is the price that I paid on average, is $44.316. So 44.316. Where it says purchase value, here you can put it in manually or you can do a calculation because now you have got the number of shares or number of stocks and the average purchase price. So that should be easy. Equals, and then you just multiply your number of stocks times average purchase price. Then enter. Let's see if it's correct. There we go. Purchase value 107.25. And here it calculates it as 107. Yeah, so this is accurate. This is correct. Then current value. The current value is the number of stocks times the share price. So equals share price times the number of stocks. And it's 106.92. Let's check if that's accurate on EasyEquities. Okay, slightly off. Okay, 106.87, but it's quite close. So there we go. Profit or loss is easy. It is current value minus purchase value. So again, you type in the formula equals open bracket, current value minus purchase value, close bracket. And you'll see the loss is negative 0.33 cents. Let's check for accuracy. Well, slightly. So this obviously will not be accurate because the market is closed. You would have to check when the market is open. So we're done with BHP, and I'm going to do the exact same thing for the rest of my stocks. Okay, guys, because the video was getting too long, I actually had to speed it up and complete this information myself. Very easy, just like what you saw for my TFSA. I completed the rest. Your ETFs don't have descriptions, so I typed these descriptions myself. ETFs also do not have PE ratios. That's why it says none, none, none. The share price is there from the table. I got that from the table. The number of stocks comes from EasyEquities. Average purchase price also comes from EasyEquities. Then the rest is calculated. So purchase value, you calculate it by multiplying the number of stocks by the average share price. And then the current value, you multiply the share price by the number of stocks. Profit or loss is simply current value minus purchase value. Then the same thing applies for dividends. As you can see, I've already been paid dividends. In January, I received dividends from VAS and VDHG. Then in March, I got all these dividends from BHP, Codan, Commonwealth Bank, Fortescue Metals, JB Hi-Fi, Mineral Resources, Sonic Healthcare, as well as West Farmers. Then in April, I received from CSL, Rio Tinto, Super Retail Group, all the ETFs, all 3 ETFs, as well as Woodside Energy. Then in May, I'm expecting a dividend from Harvey Norman. Then again, as you saw for TFSA, you can do your total for each share, the annual total. So equal sum going across this way, starting in Jan, drag across, enter. And what Excel does, it's intuitive, so it adds it for the rest of the columns as well. That's it for today's video, guys. If you have got any comments or any questions that you want to ask me, please go ahead and type them in the comment section below. Also, if you want to learn how to start investing, you've got no clue and you need guidance, I wrote easy to read ebooks for beginners about investing for only 35 Rand. Please go to my online store to get yourself your copies. I'm going to leave the link to my online store in the description as well as in the comment section below. Please remember to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.